Well, hello, everybody. This is a rather big stage, and I'm happy to join you. It's my first time here in Thailand, and thanks to the KBTG team and Techtopia for having me. Thank you guys, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm the final speaker, and I want to leave you feeling good. And the way I'm going to do that is, first and foremost, through a metaphor, given that I'm in Thailand. It's this. It's spice. Because, you know what? Fear is like spice. Like fear, too much spice can overwhelm us. Too much spice ruins everything. But the right level of spice, just like fear, can be transformative. And you know what? AI, right now, it's pretty spicy, I would say. There's a lot of fear. But there's also a lot of potential for transformation. So I want to tell you a story, a spicy story of dread. But if we as individuals embrace AI in the right way, this is a massive opportunity for personal, creative transformation. Because fear is spice. Just want to quickly introduce myself. I run a small behavioral company. We distill research around how we make decisions. My name is Jerome. We produce these things called nuggets. They are distilled research papers. They explain why we do what we do. I've been doing this for about 10 years. And different teams, different product teams use these nuggets to inform their design decisions, their strategies, and so on. And I've been doing this for a long time, and we've produced a lot of nuggets. So, naturally, I want to tell you a story through these behavioral concepts. And specifically, I'm going to focus on three. The first of these is this one. We call it prospect theory. Prospect theory, it's a very nebulous concept, but it is to do with how we feel differently when we lose something versus when we gain something. And specifically, go back. Specifically, it's to do with the fact that we are loss averse. Imagine this. I go up to you in the street. I hand you £10. You feel a certain level of joy. Ooh, thank you very much. Take that £10, put it in your pocket. You feel good. You feel good. Thank you very much. It's a gift. That's amazing. Now consider another reality, a separate reality. We are walking down the street with a £10 in your back pocket. And you walk down and you check that it's there. And you realize it's gone. It's not there. You feel pain. You feel discomfort. You feel loss. You feel the loss of that £10 twice as much, researchers say, than the gain, the joy of getting the £10. £10. We are hardwired to avoid loss. Because you know what? It makes sense. From an evolutionary perspective, we are hardwired to survive. And so we want to avoid losing things like food and other forms of resource that keep us alive. It makes sense. It makes sense that we would protect our resources. So let's look at this through the lens of AI. This spicy AI time. The spicy AI time where change is rampant. Change is, I don't know about you, I have a vested interest in this space, and it's hard to keep on top. It's exponential. The growth is exponential. And I don't know about you, but when I see OpenAI release a new product on YouTube, initially, I feel this, quite excited feeling. And then my mood changes. I start asking myself different questions. I say to myself, wow, with AI becoming so powerful, doing more and more, what's my value anymore? So I'm a designer. But this story is about writing, because I write too. And so when I see ChatGPT write, initially I'm like, it's good. It's good. And then I think, it's pretty good. Is that good? Am I okay with that? I felt, because it was getting so powerful, my ability, my skill as a writer, I felt like I was losing it. My identity as a writer was being stolen away from me. This AI future was way too spicy. But you know, that loss, that feeling of loss, is not rational. AI wasn't stealing anything. No. But it felt real, and that's what matters. So, I felt like I was losing. So what next? What happens after we experience loss aversion? Okay. So, after we feel like we're losing, we feel scared, become afraid, and we cling to what we know, to our time, to our energy, and all the efforts that we put into the things that we know so well. We experience the sunk cost bias, where we cling on too hard to our past efforts. The second behavioral principle I want to share with you. We become too comfortable with our past, and we become too afraid of our future. I'd invested 20 years pre-AI into writing. In my mind, it was safer to stick with this past self. But sticking with this past self just keeps us stuck in the middle. And we can see this. We can see this play out in lots of different areas. In our jobs. I'd spent 10 years in this job. It's not a good job, but I'm familiar with it. I know how it works. It's safe. I don't enjoy it, but it's fine. To our hobbies. I don't know if anyone here has spent lots of money on a hobby that they don't really like, but they've invested lots of money into it, so they keep doing it. But actually, it's just because they're experiencing sunk costs for that hobby. But it goes deeper. It goes deeper. What about relationships? Relationships that once energized us, met our needs, Actually, they no longer do. But we stay in them because we're afraid of the unknown. They say, better the devil you know. It's a classic quote, and it applies very well to all these examples. So I asked myself, am I experiencing sunk costs? Am I holding on to something because it's still valuable in my writing? Or just because I've invested 20 years into it? And everyone's felt this. On some level, it's entirely natural. But I have some good news to share. There are moments that can break you free from sunk costs. And here's one that applies to this story. So this is the Shape of AI. It's a website. You should definitely check it out. By Emily Campbell. And I was like, ooh. And it is a new language for designing AI-based user experiences. A new language, a new set of concepts. It's different to before. It's intriguing. Things have changed. And it can't help but pique your interest. It very much intrigued me. What are all these new concepts that were not here before? Very cool. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, it's all well and good, and it's interesting, but as a designer, how do I integrate them? How do I make use of them in my work? There's a brutal reality here that means we have to do something that's uncomfortable. We cannot fully embrace the new concepts like this that are really important without, on some level, unlearning and letting go of the old. There has to be some loss when we evolve. And this goes deep. The same is true for our own identity. We need an open mind. Friends, we need a curious mind. This is the third of the 3 behavioral concepts I want to share with you today. Curiosity effect. We are hardwired to close the gap between what we know and what we don't know. If you feel compelled, like me, to peer across that police line and find out what is going on in that building over there. The tape's there for a reason. I need to find out. Why? Again, it's evolution. We are hardwired for survival. We are hardwired to find out what that threat is before it becomes dangerous. And you can see it manifest in all sorts of different ways in modern life. Whether it's from a TV show, if you ever watched Netflix, the concept of a cliffhanger is driven and designed by curiosity of not knowing, of closing that gap. You must watch another episode. Of loot boxes and computer games. You must open that box to find out what's inside. And even to dating apps, where, I've received 6 likes from different people, and their faces appear on the screen, but their faces are pixelated. And you must subscribe to depixelate their faces. And so I do, obviously. So a way to think about curiosity is as a fuel or as a superpower, because curiosity, in closing the gap, helps us turn fear into fuel. It helps us loosen our grip on the past, helps us overcome our fear of the unknown, and it helps us take control of our future. And I want to show you an example of human curiosity in action with respect to AI. This is a great visualization by Abi Owamozu, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. A visualization of all the different ways that people are really using AI. A human to AI emotional connection. Because far from being a fear-based system, Terminator 2, Skynet, etc., actually, you know what? AI is our mirror and not our master. So let's look at some of these. AI being used as a mind helper to help sort all the information in our lives, make sense of them. To being a life support, helping us be a coach, whether that's through health or through admin or being a parent, or whether it's identity and who we really are, to help us process and understand that. These are new ways, humane ways, that we are using AI already. But the focus in this story is around creativity. Because as a fellow creative, I'm not going to hand over the reins to an AI to do the thing that I do so well. No. I'm going to only hand over the reins if there is a breakthrough moment. And I'm not talking about speed, because we know that AI is fast. I'm not talking about replication, because we know that it can produce works of art that are similar to what are out there already. Hashtag Studio Ghibli, etc. No, I'm talking, friends, about extension. How do we extend ourselves through AI? And for me, this was true with the concept of music. I was working on a concept for a bank in the UK called Monzo, where you can save money by putting it into a pot, and there's an image and a name for that little savings pot. And I thought, how can we make this better? How can we make this more engaging? How can we turn saving into a story? So we come up with a new concept. So as you save, as you add money to your pot, it builds your dream. You're saving for a bike, it builds the bike as you save. And I'm a good designer. I think I'm a good writer, but friends, I'm a terrible musician. Music felt off limits, but curiosity, it was curiosity that led me to think, I think this would be better as a music video, maybe. Let's see. So I wrote a lyrical story, and I gave it to an AI tool, and what came back floored me.
Starting small, overnight, this money saved, it's pure delight. Spoke out of turn, I did not know when it would end, where I would go. Each pound is precious, don't chuck it in a hole. Gonna get that cycle, gonna reach my goal. Pump up my dreams through ups and downs, over steep hills, through cobbled towns. Bring back that color into my face. Are these days brighter? Have I found my place? 'Cause each pound is precious, don't chuck it in a hole. Gonna get that cycle, gonna reach
So, I'm not a musician, but when I wrote the lyrics and I had AI help me on the song, I cried. At the screen, I remember, I cried. I cried twice, damn it. It was so intensely amazing to experience this process where AI would extend me in this way. It felt spicy in all the right ways. Going back to prospect theory, that doom, that dread turned to a feeling of gain. It was a gain. It was a gain in disguise, for sure. I thought I was losing, absolutely. I thought I was losing my writing, but I gained something far bigger. I gained extension, not replacement. And I say to you, humane AI will extend you, not replace you. And not just me, but for all those writers out there, you can become songwriters, visual artists. You can turn your works into immersive installations. Filmmakers, immersive, interactive, non-linear worlds await. My song is about saving money for a bike, but it shouldn't exist. And without AI, thousands of these joyful ideas would never be born. And I ask you, each one of you, what extension is natural for your skill set? What do you do so well, personally, that AI could extend naturally? And I asked myself the same. And a song was never going to be enough. And if AI could extend my writing, could it extend nuggets? Could it extend those behavioral concepts that I've been spending the last 10 years over? I present to you a demo of Cogload Intelligence, our new AI tool for applied behavioral science. It is the natural extension of 10 years' worth of work to help people make better decisions with behavioral science. I add in a question, a problem, a business problem. This happens to be about stocks. And it comes back with a bunch of nuggets that are applied to that specific business problem. And without AI, it would never be possible to imagine this vision. And it extends what we already do so well. We produce tools that help people make better decisions with behavioral science. And this represents the full circle of my story. Going from fear and loss and dread, existential dread, letting go of sunk costs of old ways of working, to curiosity and renewal. Because on the other side of fear is fun, is a playground of flavor, an opportunity for personal reinvention. And I would say, instead of asking yourself, how do I protect myself in this AI world? That's the wrong question to ask. The question to ask is, if I can overcome my fear, on the other side, what might fun look like to me? And what might a humane relationship with AI look like? I present to you 6 ways, very quickly, that AI can be used alongside a creative person. From a genre jumper, like I did with my music, to jump and explore new mediums that were inaccessible to me, to an idea birth of a brand new concept that would otherwise not see the light of day, to Imagination Plus, to bring my vision into reality, like with Cogload Intelligence, to have a constant co-creator, constant always-on collaboration. AI is a great tool for that for creatives. To overcome perfectionism, to let go of our need to be perfect and just get the thing out the door. And finally, for people who are just starting out, who just want a safe place to learn without being judged. AI will always be spicy, but an AI that builds on human needs makes that spice taste good. Because fear stops being overwhelming. It becomes a powerful new ingredient for us, where we can let go of the old, we can embrace curiosity, and be more creative than ever. If so, that spice, it becomes flavor, not fire. So friends, the future is spicy, but with just enough spice to make you cry tears of joy. Thank you.